sports. Today's game features a very good pass rush. The Texans lead the league in sacks, and they'll be up against a Saints team that will need to try and keep that pass rush off balance. So for the call of this week's 17 matchup, let's send it out to our broadcast team, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by the former third-round pick back in 2012, and that's the quarterback Nick Foles.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing out second down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage. Stuff him in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, set the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
Foles. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now. Coming in carrying the losing streak, not the start that they were looking for. 3 and out on the opening drive.
So now everyone's looking at each other. And what I mean by that is, who's going to make the right play? Who's going to get us out of the doldrums? Who's going to get us out of this funk that they're in right now? They've got to find someone who will make a play, create a play, and get their confidence moving in the right direction.
So out come the Texans for their opening drive. The former national champion at Clemson bringing him onto the field, and that's the signal caller, Deshaun Watson.
Well, we've hit that bittersweet week of the NFL season, haven't we? The last week of the regular season, week 17. Come on, Brandon. Can he win the MVP? Can he do it here in this last game?
Well, he's got to make a strong impression here in the final week. It's an interesting race. My MVP ballot is at the top of my email right now, and I'm not voting until we've seen all the games here today.
I like that. I respect a man that waits until the season is over, doesn't turn it in early. I think if he has a big game here and gets a little bit of help, maybe other guys don't play as well, he's got a great shot.
A look at the numbers from last week for Miller. 19 carries, 84 yards.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
The receiving numbers for Hopkins a week ago. 4 catches, 130 yards. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
Having a nice season. Number 8 in the league in receiving yards. And not just making his team happy, but anyone who's picked him in fantasy football.
That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Lamar Miller, they find some open field here. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Watson hands this to Foreman, and he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. Give him 9 yards on the carry there, a good run, and now 2nd and goal. That's what they wanted out of that first down play. Run it down there. Now they're knocking on the door.
The only thing that would have been better was getting it in. And now they can do whatever they want because they've got confidence on their side. Line up quickly and go, or savor it a little bit, but I run right back at them.
They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. They held him out on 2nd down, and now here's 3rd and goal. Now Watson going to sneak it, and he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Deshaun Watson scoring on the sneak from a yard out, and the Texans have taken the early lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Now Foles underneath for Johnson. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here's Foles. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feed down complete. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily...
Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together, but I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room in pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point. Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job, and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
And he'll be taken down at the 34. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. Got the guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's at the cornerback position.
And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Texans will add on to their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points. Get that 0 off the board. He'll look to throw. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And a big hit there as he runs into a brick wall. And Thomas seems to be in some pain. He's still on the ground. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. Fresh set of downs here. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He goes underneath to Ingram. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. The Saints in the hurry up here, clock continuing to roll. They'll set up to throw, and he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to have to put a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Meanwhile, down in Dallas, an update from there. And the Redskins there out to an early lead. Kirk Cousins, a single touchdown pass to this point in that one. On 1st down, Watson. His throw incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. This play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And he's brought down after a good gain. That goes for a gain of 31. On 1st down, it's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a 1st down, but a big gain to boot.
Out to his left. Gonna throw deep, and that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Will Fuller with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the third most in a single year. And the Texans will extend their lead. And it is now 21-0. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. Oh, a nice spin. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They'll look to throw. And he will not be able to get away as Foles is taken down. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. On third down, Johnson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 7. So no update from Larry after 17 weeks. Folks are saying, let's get on with the show. So we'll oblige as we get you set for the second half kickoff. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Out now comes the Houston offense as you take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And these guys locked into that #1 seed. That's been a foregone conclusion for a while now. The question on everyone's mind, can they finish the regular season a perfect 16-0?
And it all comes back to philosophy of the organization, philosophy of the head coach, and, of course, the locker room itself. What do the players want to do? And I think what most teams would do in this situation is approach it, let's win every game, but let's be smart about doing it. So it doesn't mean that they're going to go all out if, indeed, they do need to rest a few people.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And he takes it across midfield to the 45. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
One thing I can say pretty safely, That route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Whitney merciless in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. On second down, Johnson. And he loses the football a second time. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them pass it, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football. Here's Watson. And that one is incomplete. He just dropped it. But they're up big on the scoreboard, so maybe he can chuckle about later. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
He finds his target, Fuller. And they do get him down, but not before he reaches the 4-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Second and goal from the 2-yard line. And they'll give Miller another crack. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
Well, Brandon, he just followed his nose, and his nose took him to the end zone. But how about the big guys up front? Give him at least a stalemate in order to find that space.
Yeah, the O-line won the battle in the trenches there, didn't it? This is fielded at the goal line. And he's got room. Cordero Patterson. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cordero Patterson taking it goal line to goal line, 100 yards. And the Saints get a bit closer. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This will be taken in at the 1. Then he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. And a look now at Lamar Miller. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage. Yeah,
looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. They begin with a run by Miller. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. To throw on second is Watson. This one complete. It's C.J. Fedorowicz. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Will Fuller with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the second most in a single year. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than...
Accelerating, and off he goes. The 20. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 69 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll drop to throw. And it's caught. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal. Great footwork there, Charles, to dot the I, stay in bounds, get both feet in. He's probably thinking, though, man, I made a catch like that close to the end zone. I should have scored.
Yeah, there's always a regret when you're that close to the goal line. But let's go back to what you talked about before, getting his feet.
And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Cordero Patterson with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Saints make some inroads here to that deficit. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was the super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Kenny Vaccaro. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it 2nd down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but They took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Out of the gun now on third down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. Room here to run. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. And now out comes Houston. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Texans will extend their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. It's complete. Fleener, right side. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Dominique Easley in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Throw out right, taken in by Patterson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this third down play takes place. As they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Looking to throw. Open man, there is Patterson, complete. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs. Going old reliable there to the slot on third down.
And the slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? Can't go with try to go with a quicker guy and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. J.J. Watt in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long.
And he coughed it up. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. Now this will be the 9th play on this drive. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And some room to maneuver. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Back to throw now on 1st down. And brought in here by Flainer. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. And he'll indeed get him to the line and spike it here to stop the clock. So 2nd and 10 here. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. The 30. 10. And this will be a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
A 4th quarter score now from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. And the Ravens have wound up winning that affair. Brock Osweiler, a touchdown pass to help lead the way. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong.